I'm going to try to make this as short as possible because I know a lot of videos have already touched on this topic. And after seeing some of the comments from myself, from Kicking It with Ross and the former Millennial Smart actually did a video on this, and he changed his name. I think it's Devontae Backley, but they also did a video on this, as well as Russell Talk commented on this. Now, after seeing all that and seeing those comments that they put up there, I had to look for myself. I had to see whether or not the comments were still posted, and I looked on that entire feed. Well, not the entire feed, but it was a lot of comments, man. I went down as far as I can possibly go down from every type of reply thread, and I could not find anything racist. Now, there's three possibilities. One, 2K had him removed. Two, the authors had him removed because they couldn't take the heat. And three, there were probably more people throwing out that word racism for people that did not like Bianca Belair. Now, going into 2K, removing it, possibly, to be honest with you, they probably want to get rid of as much controversy as possible. They want to focus on the launch of the game, and they possibly maybe had it removed, if that is possible on Instagram. I have no idea. But as for the authors, they could have taken them down because it was way too much heat. Way too much heat to deal with. But from what I have seen from Kicking It with Ross, as well as Devontae Backley, aka the Millennial Smart, after seeing what they put up, I will say that the first comment comes off as prejudice, not racist. That word has been thrown around so much and been misused and mishandled to where it's not only is losing its luster, it's also to the point where it's just becoming a random word now. And there's a difference between prejudice and racism. Racism is when a particular race deems themselves more dominant than the other race, more superior than the other race. I did not see anything in that top comment that actually deemed it as racist. Prejudice, maybe. It came off that way. I'm not gonna lie, it did. But the response to that comment that I've seen, and I'm gonna leave a link to both of their videos so you guys can see for yourself, because I can't really find those replies anymore. But the response to that seems more racist than the guy that actually did do the original post. I'm just saying. The response was more racist than the guy that actually made that comment, and I think that guy was black. Just coming off from that. But the third comment, no, I don't really see that as racist at all. But I do understand what he means by that. Now, we are living in a very political climate. When it comes to gender, when it comes to race, when it comes to identity, we are living in a very heavy political climate. And it seems like every single company is wrapped themselves around DEI and the whole diversity formula that they have. And that everybody that you see on television now, especially entertainment, is just planted there because of either their gender, their identity, or their race. And people are fed up. That's why everyone's ready to scream woke every time they see something that's led by a woman. They're really quick to scream woke. And entertainment itself was tainted by Hollywood, at least in my opinion. So I see exactly what that person is saying. But the difference here is that Bianca Belair is a very talented performer, as well as a very talented wrestler. I saw her in the Mae Young Classic. She busted her butt when she was down there. But I will say this, I wasn't a huge fan of her at first. And for those that have seen my videos, y'all know I was not a big fan of Bianca Belair. I thought she was being pushed in a very odd way. She was being pushed way too quickly. Her matches were lopsided. I have my own personal reasons why I didn't like her. But over time, she impressed me, and she impressed me even more at the Royal Rumble. Now, for the messages that I actually did see in the thread, there were more people that just didn't like her for their own personal reasons than her being black. But for some reason, you had people that in the comments, people in that thread that was commenting on those people, calling them racist for not liking her. Now, that is something I disagree with. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and if you have a logical reason why you don't like someone and you don't mention race, that doesn't make you racist. That don't even make you prejudiced. And like I said, racism is being used poorly. The definition is not how people are using it. That's prejudice. But no one is being prejudiced like that in those comments from what I've seen. For those that disagreed and how she was pushed, people who disagreed with her in general, didn't really like her character, you're entitled to that. That doesn't make you racist, especially if you're non-black. It doesn't make you racist if you're non-black and you don't like Bianca Belair. And I mean, like I said at first, I didn't like Bianca Belair, but that don't make me racist. I didn't like her at first, but she grew on me. She grew on me, and then I actually started liking her character. I started admiring her character, especially when she faced Sasha Banks. I was really impressed by her by then, but that was how I saw her. Some people see her through a different lens. They're entitled to have that opinion, but I don't agree with anyone that is non-black calling those people racist just because they don't like her because she's black. That's wrong. They have their own reasons why, and it's not because of color. But those people who comment on that, calling them racist, are making it about color. And it ain't so. That's the one thing I disagree with. We live in a very reactionary society. Everyone is so quick to react. Everyone is so quick to comment. Everyone is so quick to look at things. And I know there are some people, well, what are you doing? I looked at the whole thing. I actually looked at the thread. I looked at the thread to see exactly what I saw. I saw the videos to see what I saw, and I was going by the evidence in front of me. Hence, I'm using logic. I am sitting down, I am using logic, I am looking at all the facts in front of me. I ain't quick to react and make a hate video, especially if there's evidence in front of me showing me that this isn't the case. I'm gonna go by that. I am going to go by logic and not emotion. Those people who were quick to react are going by pure emotion alone. The wrestlers were going by pure emotion alone. The reason why I'm saying that is because after looking at that thread and people like, everybody around here is so racist, I'm like, no, they're not. They just don't like Bianca Belair. But it's funny to me how they got pretty much most of the mid-card to react to Bianca Belair. And I wouldn't be shocked if that's somewhat damage control from WWE and they had them respond to the whole thing. It's blown out of proportion, y'all. It really, really is. And if you have a handful of trolls, if they were taken down, and you had a handful of trolls, those handful of trolls should just be ignored and moved on. Nobody will respond. They're just waiting for you to respond back so they can keep responding and keep the heat going. Just ignore them and keep it moving. You don't see Bianca Belair making a call on it. You don't see her coming out on it because she's got better things to do. And I think that's what everybody needs to consider. If Bianca Belair isn't thrown off by this, then you shouldn't be either. There's always going to be trolls out there to try to get under your skin and get you to react, to make you show your behind in front of people and to make you look bad. But if you know that you're bigger than that, then you keep it moving. That's what she's doing right now. So I'm not saying there ain't no racist comments up there. Well, actually, no, I am saying that because it wasn't racist. It came off as prejudice, but not racist. But I get why some people might consider it to be prejudice. But the thing is, all I saw was just 2 comments. That's all that I saw. And it wasn't enough to where it was an entire feed, to where you had to have several wrestlers come out and speak on her behalf. All I know is just the whole thing in itself is ridiculous. I think everybody needs to stop being so reactionary and just sit down and use their brains. You will be less tired when you do. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think that this whole thing is blown out of proportion? Do you think what those people said were prejudice? And look up the definition of racism. Y'all see exactly what I mean. But what do you think about the comments that were made by those people? Or if for those that actually looked at the thread, did you find anything that I missed? I am honestly curious because I found nothing. I found nothing that was racist there. I just found a whole bunch of people that didn't like Bianca Belair that shouldn't be there because Rhea was bigger than her. And they had pretty much the same thoughts that I had. Because I honestly, and before I close out, I'm just going to put this up there. I don't think that Bianca Belair should be on that cover. I'm not butthurt by it because I don't really play 2K that much. But I don't think she should be on that cover. Number one, because she was gone for a while. She came back. And when she came back, Rhea Ripley had a lot more going on. She was a lot more over than her. And she's a champion. And in my opinion, for the cover, it should be the champion. It should be the champion or a person that sells a lot of tickets. And honestly, in my opinion, it should be either the champion or somebody that's so over to where they have that will definitely sell games. With Cody, in my opinion, it shouldn't be Cody. And it's not because I don't like Cody. It's mainly because of the fact that I think that Roman Reigns is the Universal Champion. The whole bloodline story is more over than Cody is. But they're advertising his story, finish his story, because his story thing is so enticing to where they're advertising it. So as of right now, I get why Cody Rhodes is there. But it makes more sense for Rhea just to have her own box instead of her having to share with Bianca Belair. Because Bianca Belair doesn't really have much to sell. She doesn't really have a match right now. She is selling her reality show, but that's it. And people say, oh, she's way over. She's over, but not as over as Rhea right now. And Rhea is a champion. It makes sense for her to be on the box, at least to me. It makes sense for Roman to have his own box. It makes sense for Rhea to have her own box. And I hate it when women share, but that's a whole nother rant in itself, and it's going to make this video way too long. So I'm going to make that separately from all this. But I do want to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think that Bianca Belair should be on the 2K box? And let's be respectful about it. Let's not really go the whole prejudice route. Just I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that Bianca Belair should be on the same box as Rhea Ripley? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like what I do or like what I say, by all means subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.